on the education piece, a quote that I like to throw around often was Henry Ford from about 100 years ago. And he said, if the American people knew how the banking system worked, there'd be a revolution before the morning. Like they wouldn't even put up with it for a minute. Like before even sunrise came up, they'd be already revolting. And of course, that was over 100 years ago. So imagine how much worse the banking system is today than it was back then. I would say that, I guess, depending on how cynical your worldview is, it's at least been intentionally withheld from any education and potentially even misled through education of exactly how the banking system worked, what money is, how money worked, how the banking system worked, et cetera. Do you hold that same view?
I absolutely do. I mean, no, they can't teach you how it works because that would reveal the con, and there's no way that the populace would stand for it. In fact, I mean, the Constitution itself basically precludes it. It says that Congress shall make nothing money except gold and silver. But that, of course, is ignored at this point. I mean, the creature from Jekyll Island is a great place to start about how the Fed was created in 1913 when the bankers got together. And the whole thing has been cloaked in secrecy since. And of course, it benefits the bankers and those closest to them and the government that gets to spend. And so these are the folks pulling the strings and in charge. So it's absolutely intentionally omitted. And we are also misled in a, I wouldn't say it's overt necessarily. It's sort of groupthink. It's like, we're led to believe that the money system is the only way that it could be and just the way that it should be. And there wouldn't necessarily be any other way to structure things. And that's definitely not the case.
So it's not even, so then I guess those are the two options I gave. One, it's being intentionally left out. The other was even potentially being misled. And so I guess you're opting for more of the misled, where they're teaching you that we have to have inflation. The money supply has to grow. How can the economy grow if the money supply doesn't grow? Right, I guess. And so they're really ingraining that in your head. And I see that all the time from people like, oh no, well, if the money supply doesn't grow, then how can the economy grow? I guess, are those some of those things that you're seeing?
Yes, but I would say that the money system that we have today, really, it is necessary to have inflation because every dollar is issued as debt. There is no dollar that exists today that wasn't first issued as a loan, and that loan requires repayment of principal plus interest. So the system, the way it is designed today, actually does need inflation. It doesn't need consumer price inflation necessarily, but it needs the issuance of new money, which causes consumer price inflation. So they say they need a 2% inflation target, essentially as an excuse to continue issuing more money to get people to go deeper and deeper into debt and to encourage for the government to keep borrowing. Because if they don't do that, you get massive debt deflation.